Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn 2 more strategies for multiplication. These ones are a little trickier, but I know you can handle it because you can do hard things. Okay, so repeated addition for multiplication. Again, the symbol here means times. We could also say rows of or groups of, like we did for the other 2 strategies. The 2 for repeated addition is going to mean how many times you add. And the 4 is going to mean how much I add. So I'm adding 4 and I'm adding it 2 times because 2 is how many times I'm adding according to my multiplication sentence. So I've got 4 plus 4. I'll do an example with a bigger number in a few minutes. But for our purposes, we can add 4 and 4. You know your doubles well, and it's going to be 8. So my answer is 8. We knew that from last week. For skip counting, I like to use a number line to show a visual, but you can also count in your head like we've been doing all year. So again, we have our time symbol. Our 2 is how many times to count, so how many jumps to make on the number line. And the 4 is how much to count by, so how many are in each group, just like when we did groups of. So if I was doing it without the number line and I was doing it in my head, I'm counting by 4s and I'm counting twice. So 4, 8. If I was doing 3 times 4, I would count 3 times. 4, 8, 12, and so on. If I was doing 6 times, I'd count 6 times, but I'm counting by 4s. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So 4 times 6 would be 24. I do it on a number line if I want to use a visual. So again, how many spaces would be 4, because that's how much I'm counting by. But in this case, I'm only counting twice. I'm only doing 2 groups. And I always start at 0. So there's my first group of 4. And there's my second group of 4, and you can see that my answer ends up being 8. Okay, let's try with a more complicated one. So last time we did an array and a groups of, and that's what that looks like. So this time I'm doing 4 groups of 5, 4 times 5. So again, I have start at 0, I have 5 in each group. I'm counting 5 and another 5. That's 2 groups, and another 5, that's 3 groups, and another 5, that's 4 groups. And my answer ends up being 20. Just like if I didn't need the number line, I'd just be skip counting. I'm skip counting 4 times by 5 each time. 5, 10, 15, 20. For repeated addition, same thing. I'm adding 5, and I'm adding it 4 times. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And we know that it equals 20. Which strategy do you like best? Skip counting and repeated addition seem a little trickier, but they're really not because you skip count all the time. And so you've had lots of practice with that. Same with addition. You've practiced addition a lot. Addition and multiplication are connected, just like addition and subtraction are connected, and division and subtraction are connected, and multiplication and division are connected. All 4 operations connect. Maybe you like the array and the groups of. They're pretty cool too, and they might be easier because they're a good visual. The older you get, the more you're going to use mental strategies like skip counting and adding in your head. So the array and the groups of is great to learn now, but when you get into grade 4, 5, and 6, you're going to be doing it more in your head. So it'll be a little more trickier. So that's why I'm teaching you the strategies now.